Sir.
All right, I'll start with the injuries. Alex Lewis won't participate today with the shoulder. Limited. It's a short did not participate list, so that's a positive. Limited is going to be Becton, Sam, Chuma, and Perriman. So, we'll get a lot of these guys out there rolling, so that'll be good. Obviously, Alex, came out of that last game. We'll kind of see how the week progresses. It'll be tough for him to get a day of practice in this week. So we'll just kind of see how this kind of unfolds for us during the week.
Adam, what are you looking for from Sam today? What's his prognosis for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, right now I would just say like all options are available. We'll have him on a pitch count. I think really the biggest thing is going to be how's he going to feel tomorrow. We just want to make sure, if there's anything that really feels like lingers or anything when he's throwing, that's kind of his red flag of, hey, I gotta let you guys know. I think the trainers and Sam have done a good job communicating back and forth to make sure they're both on the same page, and then relaying the information to us to make sure that we know what's going on. It's one of those situations where we need him to be real honest, which he's done a good job of, since I've been here, as far as telling us where he's at on things. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. We'll get him rolling and kind of see how today, how he feels, and then we gotta see the next day as well.
When do you have to formulate a starter? Like, when do you have to finalize a decision on a starter? Because they're losing practice reps if they.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna, we got to kind of work them both. We'll see how today plays out. I think having Joe as someone has a lot of experience, and my confidence level in him, if it's a little less reps, I'll be all right with that. It's not, to me, it's he can handle that. Like we were talking about, like a second year player that was behind Sam, then I'd probably have I'd be a little more concerned.
So if Sam comes back tomorrow feeling good after today's practice, then it would appear that
I think the percentages keep going up. Obviously, like we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You want to think, hey, if we get through Wednesday and he comes back Thursday and feels good, hey, it looks like it's going to be on the right track. But you just never know what's Friday going to bring. What's going to be 2 days. So we'll kind of work through it.
Does the same go for Sam in terms of he doesn't need a full week of full practice because of how much he's done? You think?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be able. It's going to be tough for us to say like you're going to take every rep, every throw that you need in individual and things like that. So, we'll kind of gauge where he's at. I feel like the walkthroughs always help us. Obviously, we do a lot of those, and mentally that's where he's going to get. That's really going to be beneficial for him.
So with Mackay being upgraded to limited, so how encouraged are you that he might be able to play on Sunday?
Well, the fact that we're going to have him out of practice, we'll be able to do team reps. That's a good feeling to know. So it's all about how do we get through the week? How's he feel from today? Wearing shoulder pads and hitting. Then tomorrow, how are we going to feel Friday? Anytime that we can get ourselves in a situation where at least we're starting a week where it looks like things are heading in the right direction, we just got to get through each day and see what it brings.
Adam, how did Perriman come through the game?
As far as
his ankle. He was limping at one point.
I think it was okay. There was at some point where he either banged knees with somebody else, and it kind of just tightened him up a little bit. I think it might have been at the end of the half where him and I think Baker was buzzing out and they kind of clicked knees. I think that was bothering him a little bit as, when we came out of halftime.
Just big picture, Adam, on Sam. I know he played 4 games and the 4th game was hurt, but where are you at on kind of where you thought he would be this season? Has he lived up to your expectations, and just kind of where are you right now with Sam, big picture?
Yeah, I look at it as how many games has he had with the group we put together to start the season. We still haven't seen what it looks like with the group we drafted and signed, where it was Mims, Perryman, Crowder, Herndon. We haven't seen that yet. I think he's, tried to do what he absolutely can with, the mix of wide receivers he's had in there. He's tried to do everything he can to get the timing right as fast as possible. I think there was some games where it's almost unfair to judge him, because you can see he's trying to make plays, and it's, the San Fran game is a good example of just, we lose Perryman, then Hogan's out. We're down to 2 wide receivers. We're making up formations on the sidelines, trying to get these guys in the right spot with Berrios and Josh Malone and the tight ends. And, some of these games have been hard to really like put on him and evaluate him because, it's survival mode because of, what's going on injury wise.
But he's not a rookie anymore. So, I mean, shouldn't a third-year guy be able to overcome the loss of 1 or 2 players? I mean, no team in the NFL ever has all their guys all the time. It's impossible. So shouldn't he be able to overcome stuff like that?
He has in a lot of aspects of it, Rich. I do think it's, at some point though, you'd like to have the 3 dudes that you planned on having out there. I mean, that's fair to ask for the guy so that he can see what it looks like when he's got all 3 of his starters out there.
We'll take a few more for Coach.
Do you think you'll have the 3 dudes this week? Will Mims,
Yeah, I think we got a chance. Mims had a great week of practice last week with the scout team stuff that we had him doing. This week we'll get him involved in the, normal offensive practice and, see if, as long as we don't have any setbacks and, nothing happens injury wise. And, for us, it's like, it's the same thing with Pirine. Let's get these guys in there. Let's see what they can do. Let's give them the ball. Let's see, some of these young guys can make some explosive plays.
Adam, with Pirine, do you have to let him play through sometime? Because you said the body language wasn't great the other day. I mean, is there a situation now where you have to say, Frank, we got to give this guy a shot. We're going to play through him more? Well,
I mean, if you look at the reps that they had, I think Pirine had like 42 snaps or something like that. Frank had 25. I wanted to get Ty in there sooner. It's just the game was like, we had specific packages for him, and it was like we were down 21-0 and just trying to fight like, all right, hey, do I stay in this grouping? Do I get him in there? We got to it in the second half. He rips off 2 long runs, even though we didn't block the mic on one of them. So I mean, it just shows like sometimes speed just overcomes any mistake, But yeah, I mean, I do look at it like that. Like, I know there's going to be mistakes, but I know he's doing everything he can to do the right thing. And it's just, hey, we got to clean up a technique thing, or hey, when you got to take on this blocker or this blitzer, do it this way instead of getting turned where now the guy can shoot up the field. There's just some little technique things we just got to keep working with him. And, just loosen up, play. You make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. We'll move on. We'll correct it. We'll keep getting you in there. I just need, I think the more he plays, he'll relax and he'll play fine.
Adam, on another rookie who hasn't played, Bryce Hall, I think 6 weeks now is up. NFI, he could practice. Is there a plan for him to practice?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna get him going. I mean, it's all hands on deck at this point. Let's, whoever's available, we're gonna get them out of there. We're gonna kind of see where they're at and, try to get guys ready as fast as possible. And then when Joe makes a move of, hey, these are the guys that you got available for you, then we got to start plugging them in and playing.
Adam, what one other thing? McClendon had such a strong voice in the locker room. Obviously, now he's gone, and 0-6. Everything. Who is that voice? Who's going to take that role? Who do you see stepping up here?
I've seen what I've seen from Marcus May, really the entire season, I've been extremely impressed. To watch him, he shows up a lot when you watch the offensive side of the ball. Like you see him, he's like a cheerleader sometimes. You see him coming off the bench if we have any kind of positive play, cheering on the offense. He speaks up a lot, which is something that I didn't really hear. I didn't hear him a lot last year. I understand, like he was really good as far as I know my role in this room. I think he knows, okay, hey, I'm the guy that needs to speak up. And he does a good job of that. Offensively, I think George, Sam, Frank, they've done a good job as far as being those guys on offense. We do have, Jordan Jenkins is a good example of a guy that is not afraid to speak up. It's good to see like these guys really try, like they're doing everything they can. Stay together, stay the course, keep working, showing up on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like trying to go out there, execute what's being asked and practice hard. I think that's always the biggest thing for us is that energy level, out of practice.
We'll do 2 more for Coach.
What do you think of Marcus's acrobatic pick?
I mean, it was that was one of those ones I'm like, I was standing right there when it happened, just hold on to that thing. And when it went behind his back, I was like, oh. But that was a great job. And I think Bless was standing there. He was kind of trying to determine, do I stick my hands in there or not? So, but that was a hell of a pick. I mean, that's a tough play for a safety on that guy. And he did a great job on that play.
Adam, I know you saw them in week 1, but now watching the Bills through these first 6 weeks, how much of an impact has Diggs had on their offense?
Well, I mean, there's a reason why, for their wins, they had all those explosive plays, and the 2 losses they didn't. I think it was something, 20 plus receptions for receivers. I think it was 19 in the 4 wins, 1 in the 2 losses. He's made a huge difference for him. But anytime you get a number 1 receiver added to the group that he already had, I mean, you put him and John Brown outside, I mean, you got some real speed.